Hi, I'm Chris Anderson at the EEWeb Tech Lab. Today I'll be reviewing the RIGOL DG-4162 Arbitrary Waveform Generator. The RIGOL DG-4162 Arbitrary Waveform Generator is a 2-channel 160 MHz bandwidth generator. It has Ethernet and USB connectivity, and there's really no equivalent in its size or class. It sells for just under $1,300. The interface continues RIGOL's clean approach to design. As with other RIGOL instruments, one thing you'll notice is that the screen is nice and large compared to the size of the instrument. The waveform functions are all easy to find, easy to set. The buttons are actually backlit, so you can very quickly tell which function you're using. To set up your channel, all your buttons are right here. You can see that right now I'm actively using channel 1. To turn the output on, I just click this button and it lights up. The generator also has a keypad so that you can key in your settings quickly and easily rather than dialing them in with the knob. You can dial them in if you need to, or if you prefer that, but I find that using the keypad is quicker. You have independent buttons for each of your channels, and they are color-coded to their outputs and sinks. The independent button makes it quick and easy to set your settings rather than switching between channels on soft keys. Let's say, for example, that I want to configure channel 1 to be a square wave. I already know I'm on channel 1 because the button's lit. So I select square wave, and I can set that to 5 MHz. And if I want to change the amplitude, I just click the amplitude soft key, and I'm going to change that to 3 volts, peak to peak. And now I'm ready to go. You'll notice that when I clicked square wave, it actually changed the display to show a square wave. Now, one thing I like is that you also have modulation. So let's set it back to a sine wave. We'll turn on some modulation, and you'll see that based on the default settings, it already displays the modulated waveform. This display gets very helpful, especially if you're using something like a harmonic waveform. So let's turn off modulation. Let's go into harmonics. It's going to take a second to generate. And you'll see that to start, it gave us a second order using only the even harmonics. So let's add some harmonics to that. Let's go 6th order. You'll see it'll regenerate again. And now here's the waveform that it's actually putting out. It also displays the amplitude of the fundamental relative to each harmonic. We can add odds. We can do just odds. Let's go to all. So now you'll see all the first 5 harmonics. So you're at a 6th order signal. You see the actual signal that's being output by the waveform generator. Another nice benefit of having this waveform generator is the fact that it does have 2 channels, and those 2 channels are linked. So if we set channel 1 back to a sine wave, what we can do is we can offset channel 2 in phase. And so let's say we offset this by 90 degrees. Now you essentially have a sine and a cosine function. The waveform configuration is quick and easy. Now that I have my instrument configured the way I'd like it, I can go to the Store menu, and I can save this state. And this is the one issue I have with this instrument, is it's rather time consuming to actually save a state because it doesn't give you a default file name. So I would need to come in here and dial through the entire alphabet and decide on a state. So we're going to call this state G-O, state go, save. Once it is saved, we're ready to go, and we can recall that state anytime. I would like to see a default file name to make that process a little easier and more meaningful, but it works. In conclusion, the RIGOL DG-4162 Arbitrary Waveform Generator is easy to use, and it offers great specs at a budget price. For more videos and other EE content, go to eeweb.com.